Recent history for Manchester United has had its ups, but mostly its downs. Changes have definitely been called for at Old Trafford, but never this radical. It is time to absolutely gut the famous club, which I'm sure is something a lot of Man United fans actually want to happen. But today, it is time for the accepting every transfer offer challenge with Manchester United. G'day guys, how's it going? It is Jared HD here. Welcome back to the accepting every transfer offer challenge series here in FIFA 20 career mode. It's been a little while since I've done an episode in this series, but due to popular demand, it is back and we are taking over Manchester United. If you guys do go on to enjoy this video, however, make sure you leave a like on the video. Also, if you're new around here, bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below. So here are the rules for the accepting every transfer offer series. Rule number one, plain and simple. We must accept every single offer that gets put towards us. No ifs, ands, or buts. If a club wants a player, they'll get a player. Rule number two, we are not allowed to make any signings in the opening window of each season, which leads into rule number three, and that is we can only sign players in the January transfer window. Rule number four is the overall objective of the series, and that is to win the league title by season number 2. So there's the rules and objectives. Let's get into the video. So this is how our starting 11 is looking like at the start of this first season, but if you've seen this series before, you would know that this it's not going to look anything like this by the end of the transfer window. It might not even have any of these players in the starting 11 if everything goes to plan, if we can cause full anarchy, but it's a very good starting 11 in the sense that you've got players like Bruno Fernandes in there, you've got Pogba, Rashford, Martial, De Gea, but again, are any of them going to survive this first transfer window? Let's go find out. And because I want to cause as much anarchy as possible in this video, we are going to transfer list every possible player for this first window. As you can see here, virtually our entire squad has been listed up for transfer. So I am very, very interested to see what sort of offers come in. The first offer of the video has come in here. Valencia for Scott McTominay, £16.2 million. That's an absolute bargain, but you know how it goes. We have to accept it. Jesus Christ, Scott McTominay wanted out of the club. Not even like the next day later, the Scotsman has accepted the offer. I'm not going to show you every single transfer offer that comes in. Probably going to speed up this episode compared to previous episodes and just show you once the transfer has happened. But Victor Lindelof, Tottenham, £19.3 million. Again, a bargain for a fellow Premier League club as well. But rules are rules, accepted. And Victor Lindelof becomes the second player out of Old Trafford, the Swedish defender, linking back up with Jose Mourinho, headed to Tottenham. Timothy Fosu-Mensah becomes the third player out of Old Trafford, the Dutch defender finally departing the Premier League, off to the Turkish league for £3.6 million. The Portuguese wonder kid defender Diogo Dalot is headed to Leicester City. I'm not sure if that's a good move for him. He's going to be behind Ricardo Pereira, but regardless, he's been sold for £10.5 million. Fred, a man that has had a bit of a resurgence with Manchester United in the past season, leaving the club off to Inter for £15.2 million. And Luke Shaw, he's out of the club as well. We're getting rid of a lot of players already. Luke Shaw headed to PSG for £18.2 million. This is a move that might make a lot of Manchester United fans quite happy. I mean, you either love him or hate him, I feel like. But Jesse Lingard is headed to Wolverhampton. I'm sure they're not going to cop his shit in the Midlands, but he's off to Wolverhampton for £11.2 million. And Eric Bailly becomes the latest defender to leave the club. The Ivorian headed to Lyon for £19.1 million. Again, a player that some fans are going to be very happy I've sold, and others are going to be quite devastated, but there is no denying it's the end of an era here. Phil Bloody Jones, the man himself, he's headed to Hoffenheim to go pull more faces in defense. The club is getting absolutely decimated here. Another player out of the club, Andreas Pereira, headed to Leicester City, linking back up with the lot for 10.7 mil. So there we go. That is the opening transfer window done and dusted. 132.7 million pounds worth of talent out of the club. Also, I wanted to address to you guys why I've got a 99 rating for my manager. I have used the PC mod to keep it there because too often we were getting sacked in this series, and that's not a part of the challenge. I want to make sure that we don't get sacked because I want to see if full carnage can happen and if we can restore it, especially with these big clubs. You just can't get away with selling half the team having a poor first season. So we're keeping it at a 99 so that we can actually have a shot at completing the challenge this time, which I'm sure you guys can all understand. But looking at the squad after this first transfer window, yes, we lost a lot of big players, but not our superstar players. I mean, Martial is still here. Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford, De Gea, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, all still in the club. So it's not the worst case scenario. I'm very interested to see how we're tracking along come the 1st of January. I don't think we're in the title race here. We're sitting in 4th position on the 1st of January, 45 points. We're 13 points behind our Manchester rivals in City, but we're in 4th position, which isn't terrible. I mean, I've done certain videos in this series where after the first season, we're in the relegation battle, so not the worst. We can now go ahead and buy players in January, but we still have to accept every transfer offer, so I don't know what to expect. But we've gone out early in the window here and made a massive signing. He's been linked with United forever, it feels like. But Koulibaly, the Senegalese defender, making the move from sunny Naples to even definitely sunnier Manchester for 82.9 mil. I love to absolutely shitstir everybody in my videos. I always like signing players from rival teams just for an absolute laugh. And I've done it here again. Man City fans, if you guys exist, I'm sure you're going to be quite angry because we have signed Raheem Sterling, one of your star players, for, I'm going to admit, a lot of money, probably too much money, but Sterling comes across from Man City for 130 million pounds.
Hi, I'm Raheem Sterling, you're watching Jarrett HD.
But we have had to sell the wonder kid midfielder Angel Gomes here. He's headed to Genk in the Belgian league for 3.2 million pounds. And Marcus Rashford is leaving Old Trafford, one of the fan favourites here, headed to Chelsea for 64.2 million pounds. I'm sorry, United fans. I'm sure that one hurt. Juan Mata heading back to his home nation of Spain, signing with Bilbao for 11.1 million pounds. And Paul Pogba out of the club, signing with Bayern Munich for just 55.9 million pounds. Oh my God, that is a bargain. But we've gone ahead and brought in a new left back here. Andy Robertson coming from our fierce rivals in Liverpool for 74 million. And now that Pogba is out of the club, we need a new defensive midfielder, and that man is going to be Casemiro, making the move from La Liga, from Real Madrid to Manchester United here for 85.6 mil. 89 rated though. What a huge pickup. If selling Pogba and Rashford didn't hurt enough, Mason Greenwood, who people think is the next generation, like the next superstar of Manchester United. He's already a superstar, but they think he's going to be the next big thing. He's headed to Atalanta for 16.5 mil. Bloody hell. Nemanja Matic headed to Torino for 7.3 mil. Brandon Williams, another wonder kid, headed to Fenerbahce for 8.2 million pounds. My God. Axel Tuanzebe headed to Getafe. And we have had the scramble to bring in a new striker here deep into the transfer window. Raul Jimenez, the Mexican striker, a name that I'm sure you weren't expecting me to sign, headed into this video, signing for a pretty big fee of 45.6 million pounds, but I wanted to see what he can do. I've never used him in a video, it feels like, so I want to see what he can do. So there it is. I would describe that as a batshit crazy transfer window. 400 million pounds of talent into the club and nearly 200 million pounds of talent out of the club. That is ridiculous. So I mean, we've actually been able to put together a pretty decent starting 11. The real concern is our bench. Our bench is absolutely dreadful. but if we can go on a run here, we might be able to complete this challenge in Season 1. So let's see if we can pull this around, and let's go to the end of Season number 1. Nope! We've stayed in 4th position, 87 points, Man City with 104 points, so we were, 17 points away from the title. Still a better effort than I've had in some first seasons, but that leaves it wide open for us in Season number 2 to try completing the challenge. In terms of the relegation zone, it is going to be Norwich with a pathetic 8 points, Southampton and Crystal Palace all being relegated. We lost in the 5th round of the FA Cup to Newcastle United. We lost in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup to Liverpool. Man City have had a fantastic season. They won the Champions League. And we were eliminated in the semi-finals on away goals rule in the Europa League. That is cruel. Arsenal ended up winning that competition, but we came so close to the Europa League. So there we go. That is Season number 1 in the accepting every transfer offer challenge done and dusted. Definitely a decent season, but it could all be turned into absolute fairy dust if we are forced into selling a ridiculous amount of players at the start of Season 2. So let's just go and see what type of carnage unfolds here in Season 2. The first player out of the club to kick off Season 2 is Taith Chong, the Dutch left midfielder, signing with Stade Brestois in the French 2nd division, I believe. So a unique pickup for them. Chris Smalling has returned from loan at Roma and is immediately shipped back out of the club for a permanent deal, this time off to Frankfurt. It's a big scalp. We've cast the line, lads, and gotten rid of a big name player, David De Gea, off to Inter Milan for £74.1 million, linking up with Big Rom again. It's back-to-back blows as Anthony Martial is also leaving Old Trafford. He has signed with Tottenham for £61.2 million, so clear to see who Mourinho wants back. And if things couldn't go from bad to worse, oh my god, Aaron Wan-Bissaka goes to our rivals in Liverpool, £53.3 million. Oh, that is crazy. Deschamps Bernard is off to Wolfsburger AC for £840,000. And the wonder kid midfielder James Garner headed to Trabzonspor in the Turkish league for £2.5 million. Joel Pereira, who some of you guys have left comments for what feels like forever, since like 2017. People have said that we look alike. I mean, we both have really long heads, but that's about it. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Do I look like him? I don't know. Just because we both have eggs for heads doesn't mean we're twins. Dean Henderson. This is a player that I was really hoping we didn't sell in this first window because I wanted to have him as a replacement for De Gea. But rules are rules. He's headed to Aston Villa on a permanent deal, £24.1 million. And the club captain, Harry Maguire, is the most recent player to pack his bags. He's joining up with Marcus Rashford again, signing with Chelsea for £53.3 million. So there it is again, another ridiculous transfer window. More players than any transfer window in terms of money brought in. Like, virtually every player we sold this window hurts. It hurt a lot. I don't know where we're going to be sitting halfway through the season. Let's go and see our squad though. So a lot of our new signings didn't get touched, but besides that, we have been absolutely dropped. We have just been destroyed. The scary thing as well is that we have 0 reserves in the squad. So if a player gets injured, there is a real possibility that we are going to have to forfeit every game. Thankfully, Levitt's injury is just a knock and not an actual, like an injury where he can sit on the bench, but I do not know where to expect our position to be halfway through the season. I will take that for sure. Whilst it's not the best position in terms of mounting a title challenge, we are in a much better position than I expected us to be in. I expected us to be down where Arsenal were, virtually out of the title race, but 17 games to go, a 13-point deficit. We're going to have to be almost perfect in the second half of the season. I mean, Liverpool have honestly made it impossible for us with 21 wins, 0 draws, and 0 goddamn losses, but this is not an unachievable position to come back from. We're looking to really hit the ground running here, not holding back any punches for the second half of the season. Harry Kane joining us I almost said at Tottenham, at Man United, £120 million, 90 rated, an insane signing. Also going for reinforcements in between the sticks, Ter Stegen, one of my favourite goalkeepers, one of my favourite players. I desperately want to go see Barcelona play live once all of this pandemic stuff is passed, because I want to go see Messi, I want to go see Frankie de Jong, and I want to go see Ter Stegen. So he has come along here for 76.2 mil. Honestly, a steal. And the first player leaving Old Trafford in this transfer window is a signing from last year, Raul Jimenez, signing with Bayern Munich. If things couldn't get any weirder, Koulibaly has gone back to Napoli 12 months later. He has re-signed at Napoli for £113 million. What? They must have been missing him. So we've had to go out and get a replacement defender for not only Harry Maguire, but Koulibaly now. The first one is Clement Lenglet, Barcelona's defender, £98 million signing on here. And a new striker coming into the club here to link up with Harry Kane. It is Mauro Icardi, joining us for just £50 million from Inter Milan. And a new right back into the club here, João Cancelo, the Portuguese defender, coming across from Man City, trying to weaken a title rival, 44.3 mil. And there we go, we get our second centre-back into the club, doing absolute crazy business here. Milan Skriniar signing from Man City, 80.7 mil, so again, weakening Man City. Daniel James has left the club, however. He is headed to PSG, linking up with Luke Shaw for 25.9 mil. And in his place, we have gone ahead and brought in Serge Gnabry from Bayern Munich, 73.2 million pounds. Overpaid a little bit, but still a handy pickup for the German midfielder. So there we go. We've spent over £500 million in this transfer window, which is ridiculous. £172 million on 4 players going out of the club. But we have really stacked this squad here. Let's go and see how it compares as we make a potential title charge. As you can see here, Casemiro's going up. Virtually our starting 11 it's cranked. Again, our bench isn't super strong, but at least we're not crippled in the fact that injuries won't make us force us into forfeiting every single game. But I don't know what to expect out of this squad. I know it's a big task for us to overcome the deficit we have now, but we have set ourselves up to really give it our best shot. Lads, let's go and see at the end of the season if we've completed the accepting every transfer offer challenge with Manchester United. You guys know I love to leave you hanging, I love to leave you on a cliffhanger, but let's go and check out our results in the other tournaments first. So, another semi-final exit in the FA Cup. A quarter-final exit to Man City in the Carabao Cup. Unfortunately, eliminated in the round of 16 of the Champions League to a very tough Atletico Madrid side. And Sevilla, they did win the Europa League this season. The relegation battle saw Leeds, Cardiff, and Sheffield United all making their way back down to the Championship. But now, the moment of truth. Did we overcome the 13-point deficit? Scrolling up slower. 4th, we didn't get there. 3rd, 2nd, no! We finished in 2nd position here. Liverpool on 107 points. We made up 5 points in the deficit. A valiant effort, but unfortunately, lads, it hurts me to say this, we have failed the accepting every transfer offer challenge with Manchester United. Lads, I had an absolute blast working on this challenge once again. This is honestly one of my favorite video series to make. If you want to see this series potentially continue, make sure you show this video some mad love. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe down below if you're new around here. But once again, thank you for spending your day watching me. It's been Jared HD here. I'm out. Peace.